In today's society, what is the one thing that people go to first when something big happens? Do they find a newspaper? Do they cut on the 9 o'clock news? Maybe the 5 o'clock news? Or maybe do they go to the next door neighbor and ask did they hear about anything news or anything down the street? No. The new regime now is social media. Social media is something that is being a worldwide takeover in a way. I'm going to say that social media is something that plays an everyday part in everyday life from now on. That's something that we're not, I wouldn't say used to, but it's something that we're going to actually have to get used to. Being adaptable in life is something that is huge because once you're able to adapt to anything, nothing will be able you will be fearless to anything. Social media is something that is informational. It's something that is very content value. It's very indicative. It's very hands on. It's very engaging. Social media platforms gives individuals a way to express their thoughts, express how they feel on certain subjects, on celebrities' lives, on sports matters, on global news, or even in their local news. Social media does so much to the point where you can wake up next to your phone and instantly find out what happened in the last 30 seconds. Knowing that you can find out information that quickly at the touch of a click, just pressing your home button or just pressing an app on your phone to get information is a big step up from the last 20 years. Life before social media used to just be everybody getting the daily newspaper and waiting for the news article to print out the biggest story or say what was going on in the world recently. Knowing that social media is such a big part of everyday life tells everyone that everybody needs to adapt and actually head in that direction because once you're in the social media world, it's tough to really get out. One thing I can say that well, more than one thing, three things I can say about social media that it takes effects on is communication, relationships, and mental health. Starting with communication. Social media gives people a platform to the point where they don't need to engage in face to face talks unless it's on maybe Skype or Zoom, but more so on the apps that we have, i.e., Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, um, Tumblr, I any social media app that we have in today's world gives people an informational handheld device that they can express what they think and how they feel on certain topics. I can say in a positive way, it's easier to access or easier to explain their thoughts on certain subjects. When you have a chance to do anything on your phone or anything that's quickly able to get widely spread through America's internet or the world's internet, it gives people a bit of power. Um, one thing that is a negative effect to it is it's tough when people want to communicate face to face. Some people may at the time think it's okay to just go ahead and look at their phone or while they're on dates or anything with people, they feel like they don't need to talk to the person face to face, but technically that's the whole point of a date. Secondly, mental health. Social media takes a toll on mental health. Studies show that at least 58% of people who use social media and have been affected upon it, mental health has actually used them in a negative way. Some negative ways can result into suicide. It can also, result in other things like as in, detached from family members, not being with friends, being very, antisocial to a certain extent. Mental health is such a big thing in life and being able to adapt to certain challenges and anything that happens in life. Currently, with the pandemic in 2020 happening, people's mental health has taken a huge shot and on how to handle certain things. People didn't know how to handle certain things. A third thing that social media does is on relationships. People feel like everything has to be on a relationship. Everything has to be posted on the social media. Everything has to be posted on Instagram to show validation or this and that on the relationship. As long as everything is done, at home and understood at home, then everything doesn't need to be posted. But when people feel like they posted, they feel like they have the power to judge the person who's posting the information. knowing that communication is well and alive through social media means that a lot of things can get transferred energy wise. Knowing that social media is a big part of life and everyday life, you end up finding out that people will end up using this as a crutch. People use it as something that they can just use to the point where they can explain their thoughts and not know how to explain it in person, face to face. Social media is such a big thing nowadays. Um, it's just to the point like it's like a man's best friend not being a pet anymore. You can literally access anything through the internet, sports, global news, local news, anything that happened with your best friend in the last 10 seconds. Social media is right there for it. I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and you'll be hearing more of this later on next week.